Greetings all, welcome to another session of Tuesday Talks. Today we're going to be looking at Google Docs, another session here where we're going to investigate some of the blocks that are involved that you can put into a course, and we're also going to look at some of the simpler things like labels and pages and directories. Let's jump right in and take a look at some of the blocks that we want to look at today. The ones that we'll be looking at today are the attendance, the marking, and the quick mail. They're rather easy to put in, so let's just jump over to our course site and see if we can't put them in right away. Now, here's the course that we've set up. You'll notice I already have attendance and marking and quick mail sitting here. I believe it's because they are pre-installed into all the courses set up here at i2z.net. But if you didn't have it, you'd have to turn on editing, which is this puppy right here. Right? You turn on editing, and then you can come down here and add blocks. Right down here is where your blocks are. Click on blocks here, and you can add any of the blocks that are here. Now, because these are already listed here, I can get rid of ones that I don't want. Okay, first of all, I can get rid of like these blocks. I'm not going to use these blocks, so I'm going to get rid of them. You'll notice these don't have any pluses or hides or anything because they're required blocks. But if I wanted to add them and they didn't exist, I'd simply click on the blocks menu and scroll down here and find the one that I want. Now, if the block you want isn't here, like for example, quick mail or marking. Marking, I don't believe, is standard on a standard install. You'll need to go to Moodle, go to the Moodle website, look for the module, and then install it on the server so that you can use it. Once it's installed, then you can modify it and use it. Now let's take a look at the first one here, which is the attendance block. And you'll notice that the attendance block says that it can't work. It's not usable right now because there's no attendance session. Unlike most other blocks, okay, where you simply open it up and it's usable, you know, like this one right here, you've got this YouTube block right here. Okay, you install it and then you can start using it. You can start finding videos and playing videos off of it. The attendance block requires you to also include an activity called attendance. There it is. So we're going to include this attendance block right now at the very top of the page, and we can set it up the way we want. We can call it attendance. We can give it a grade value if we want to. I never do, so I'm going to set that at 0. I'm not going to have a grade category, but I'm going to be done. I'm going to save and display. Now, I have no sessions. The block has been made, the application has been installed, but it doesn't know what to check. So I need to add attendance days, I guess you could say, and they call a day a session. So we need to add some days, add some sessions, so that we can do marking. Okay, let's create multiple sessions. Okay, we'll create multiple sessions here, and we'll click on multiple. We'll start with whatever day this is. We'll go to December. That's good enough. You can meet on Tuesdays or Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can even meet more than once a day. All right, they're created. Now when you go look at sessions, you'll see all these days that are listed here. And I can grade them. I can go on and click on the attendance. I can edit them. I can delete them. Let's just say you create all these days and you're like, oh, I forgot. You know, 11/27 happens to be the week of, or 11/20 happens to be the week of Thanksgiving, and so we're not going to have class that week, so I can just delete it. So you'll delete it. Anyway, that's how this works. Now, let's go back to the front page and see what this looks like. You'll note back here now, this now looks different. Okay, because it's set up now, I can now do the attendance from here, which is a good thing. Right now I can set that up. I can add more if I want to. Okay, I don't have to go into attendance, which is now sitting here. I can just directly take attendance. And if it's today, then it'll automatically go to that particular day, and you'll be able to take attendance with your students. Okay, marking. Same type of thing. It's an automatic thing that I added, but if you add it in here, what's going to happen is you're going to see work that your students have done. Okay, so for example, we have an online title, or we have a peer online stuff that we made from earlier sessions, right? If those things are due, if someone hands in work, someone uploads a paper or they complete an assignment, okay, all of a sudden marking is going to say, hey, you've got work to do. You've got something that you need to check. It's a great little tool to have, something that I, again, want to have on my side. You can configure it. There are a couple things that you can configure in here. You can configure some of these elements, right? So that's just part of the Ajax marking system that's going to be listed here. Thank goodness for Ajax and COM, right? Okay, now I've got nothing to grade there. All I really have to do, though, is just simply add that from the blocks, and it should show up. And if anybody does work, I'll be able to correct that work immediately. Last one here is Quick Mail, and Quick Mail is simply an email program that will allow you and everybody in your class to email one another. Okay, and so there is a way that you can just click on Compose Email, and a little mail program like this is going to pop up. And we don't have anybody in the class, but we could add me as a, emailing myself. Okay, and now I'm going to be the person who's going to be doing the email, right? So now it's going to be from me to me, and so I'm the recipient. I can come down here and I can type a note. Hi, Captain. I can add pictures in here. I can attach a file. When I'm all done, I just send it, and it gets sent off to Captain Tightpants. Okay, so that's a nice little tool so that if you want to contact everybody quickly, you don't have to have a preset. It's already preset. Everybody in the class is going to show up. Of course, you don't have to mail to everyone. You can pick and choose, or you can mail the whole class. Additionally, students can email themselves. Attendance marking and quick mail. Those are the three main ones that I typically pre-install into any pre-made class that I make. Okay, like I said, there are other blocks, and you simply need to turn on editing and then add a block. And any of the blocks that are here that you might find interesting, you can do that. Okay, you can put them on. And of course, if you want more, always go to the Moodle site, and there are more blocks that are sitting there. Moodle now has thousands of blocks and modules that you can add to your system. Okay, take a quick look back here. We've done these three. We can update things. Let's move on to some of the simpler things here. Let's look at labels and pages and links inside the Moodle system here. When I talk about labels, I'm talking about dressing this up. I mean, you look at this week right here, and it's kind of boring. Wouldn't it be nice to have some pictures in here? Wouldn't it be nice to have labels in here so that things are understood? So I'm going to click on Resources, and I'm going to insert a label. Okay, Resources, insert a label. And maybe I'll put in here homework. I know that's certainly something that I'll want to put in here, right? Homework. And I want to make this kind of bigger because I want people to notice that it's here. Okay, let's go a little bigger even yet. Let's go even bigger even yet. Okay, and it's black, so let me change the color to a different color. Here's, font color, and I can pick red maybe. Okay, and now it's a different color. Maybe I want to underline it. Maybe I want to italicize it. Let's even make it bigger, right? I don't like the color, so I'm going to change it to a different color. I'm going to make it this red. Okay. So now when I'm done with that, I just save and return to course. Now I've got a big thing here called homework. And maybe I want to drag this little puppy right here, drag him down. And drag him down below here so that he's below and not above. Okay? Maybe I want to edit this because it seems like it's a little too big. Maybe what I can do is put a space above it so that I've got a little more space. That's better. And so obviously that has a little more color to it, a little more pep to it. Now they know that that's going to be there. I can also add another label and put it right here at the top. What doing this week? Something. This week in class. And make this maybe a different color. And how about making this blue? And we'll make it a little bigger, but not as big as the original, right? Not as big as the other one. And I'll save and return to class. Okay, now this one I want to move up to the beginning, and maybe these I'm going to indent a little bit so that we can have a little offset. Okay, so now you see I've got a little differences here. It looks a little nicer. I've got a couple labels that explain what's happening when. Okay, I also have this little icon right here, which allows me to edit this particular week block, right? This block right here. So if I don't want to put this label here, I can put something there. And I can put in pictures, I can put in more description if I want to. This way I could actually put in a couple paragraphs to explain what's going on before I run into some kind of an outline. Anyway, that's what a label is. And so that's the first one, labels. Next one we'll look at is a page. And in inserting a page, you can insert a text page or a web page. I'd probably insert a web page because it just looks a little prettier. You're going to give it a title. Let's just say Project 1. And I can put a description of what Project 1 is here. That's not going to appear on the page. So you want to make sure that you're going to be doing stuff that's going to appear on the page as well. So you're going to come down here, and then you're going to type in your instructions. Or maybe you type in the word instructions, IN. Right? And maybe you have, some instructions there, and maybe you have a title of the project. Oops. Okay, and maybe you want to center that section right there, and okay, you might have, directions as to what they're going to do, right? What to make, right? How to make it, right? Deadline, how to write the paper, right? Okay, so there's a bunch of little things that you could put in here. You want to put in a picture, you can insert a picture. If you happen to know where there's a picture online where you can get this, let's just type in the word project and look for some images. That's a cool looking one right there. I like that one. Copy the link location if that works. I don't know if it will. We'll take a quick look at it. Right, view image, let's do it this way instead. This I know is the actual location. We come back here and we insert a picture. Type in the URL, type in the alternative, and then we press OK. That picture's now added, okay? And that's how it's going to look. So when I'm done here, I just update this, save and display. And here's what the project looks like. Oh, look at that. I put it in twice. Okay, now obviously I'm just throwing this together rather quickly, but this is how you can create a web page. Let's go back to update the resource. This interface right here is, I think this is the FCK editor or KFC editor. Not all Moodle installations use them, but if you have this type of a GUI interface inside your browser, there's almost nothing you can't do that is a Word document, the same as a Word document. You ought to be careful of this one as well, because this allows you to pop out this little screen that you have there and make it a bigger screen. That's nicer. So just you want to be careful of that. There we go. And so that's how you create a page. I got two of these, so let's get rid of one there. That's better. And we don't want these here. We want them below. So actually, let's just leave it there and make it a little smaller. Okay, we're just playing with stuff, right? Okay, so now that that's all done, we'll save it again. And this is what it looks like. Okay, so creating a web page is really kind of like using a word processor. And you can put some information in here. You can add links if you want to, which let's take a look at that now, since that's one of the other things we're supposed to be doing. To add a link inside any of these types here, you can, let's just add a link that says, don't forget your references. Okay, and then we'll just type in the word link here, and then let's add a link. And right here's the link button. So we click on link. Okay, and we need to find a URL. Well, one that I would think of is Purdue's OWL, online word. And here's the APA formatting. That's the link that I want. Thank you very much, Purdue. They have a wonderful site for this. Let's come back to our link, and let's paste our link in here, and then we're done. Okay, now it shows up as a little link here, as you can see, right? There's a little link right there, and now we're going to save that, and then it'll go back out, and we'll be able to see it on the display. Okay, and there's your link, right? And that'll take you to Purdue. That'll take you to the OWL. Okay, so that's how you insert a link. Really, you just go into whatever GUI you have, and you're going to find right here, you're going to find the chained link, it looks like, link, and that allows you to insert a link into any place where this exists. Any place where this exists. So we go back to the front of the class, for example, you'll note that we have, this is a label, right? This piece right here. Well, we can edit this, and look, I can insert a label here. I can literally insert a label here. So what I can do is I can say, I can just double click on class, for example, just for the fun of it, and we'll add a link. And let's make it the same Purdue link. And now this last word is now a link. Save course. Okay, and this should now be a link right here. See, it is. I put my mouse over and it becomes red. And I can click on it and go somewhere with it. Any place where you have that GUI interface that allows you to work things like a word processor, you'll be able to insert a link. Pretty cool, I think. Okay, directory and tab. I won't be able to do tab today, but let's take a look at a directory. Let's just say at the top of my class, at the top of my course here, where I don't have a date, this is where I put generic information. Let's just say here I want to have a folder on the system that I can dump a whole bunch of things that students want to use. Kind of like document sharing or making resources available to the students. I can add a resource, and in this case I'm going to display a directory. Okay, you click on display directory, and do I have a directory? I don't. See, look at that. And so I need to put on a directory. So let's just say call this resources. Okay, and I can put in here whatever I want. This is a folder resources. Okay, and I'm just going to show the main files. I'm going to save and display. And there's my resources. Now I can update the resource. I can also edit the files, which I'd like to do because I don't know that I like just the word files or whatever. But here I can make a folder. And let's call it student resources. Okay, and then create. Now I've got a folder there called student resources, right? So I can go back to my class, click on, I can edit resources that I have here, and rather than do main files, I can do student resources. Save and display, and I've got nothing there. Yes, but I've got the folder. Now I can edit the files. Now I can upload files. Okay, and that space will be available for my students, and I can upload a whole bunch of files, put it right in this folder. And when they come in and look at this, they'll see resources. It'll go to that student, student resources folder that you created, and all the files that are in there will be accessible to them. That's how to make a folder. Lastly, I want to show you how to make a tab display. I'm not going to be able to finish this, I don't believe, but I want to at least show you how to do this. Let's just say you've got a variety of resources or a variety of web pages that you want to show your students at the very same time. Let's just say you've got 4 projects and you want them to pick which project. Okay, you can put it all on one big long web page. You could put it on 4 separate web pages, but you could also just put it inside a tabbed resource. So here you put in available projects. And here we call this project 1. Okay, and there's information in here for project 1. And this is project 2. Okay. And we can keep going down, right? Project 2, project 3, right? I can keep adding more projects if I want to. Project 4, project 4. Okay, and that's good enough. And then save and display. Okay, and now I have 4 projects, okay? And you should be able to see them all. You should be able to see the information in them. All right? And so, put that back up front here, and now you've got something called available project. Please note also the icons are different. This is a tab icon, this is a folder icon. All these little things have nice little meanings as you go through them. That's all I have for today. I do want to thank you for taking a look at some of this stuff in Tuesday Talks. If you do have any questions, kindly give me a contact. Talk to you later.